Good afternoon, everyone. Today is yet another day filled with bittersweet emotions. I'm glad we are joined today by Jason Varitek's mom and dad, Joe and Donna Varitek, his wonderful wife, Catherine, and his beautiful daughters, who he loves so much, Allie, Kendall, and Carolyn. Jason knows how much they love him and respect him. Sentiments shared by John Henry, Larry Lucchino, our partners here today, our entire organization, and all of Red Sox Nation. One of the most loyal and respected men ever to wear a Red Sox uniform will take off his gear and call it a career. And what a career it has been. It's quite a statement to be the catcher on teams that reached postseason play 8 times in just over 14 years. It's a statement to earn the C of captain as you lead your team to 2 historic and remarkable World Series championships. It's a statement when you catch 4 no-hitters. In fact, it's a major league record. 4 different pitchers, but just 1 catcher. Jason, you have not only been our captain, you have been our rock. You have personified the rugged, aggressive, fiercely competitive style of play that has characterized our club during your tenure. Red Sox fans vividly remember how you would stare down certain opposing players like Alex Rodriguez. Heck, you'd stare down John and Larry and me when we walked into the clubhouse. We thought you were the owner. But the truth is, you did own that clubhouse. You were our leader every single day, offensively, defensively, and in the clubhouse. Your teammates knew it, Red Sox fans knew it, and opposing players knew it. At the same time, though, you could also shed that gruff exterior in the community to reveal a generous heart that touched countless people. John and I saw firsthand the qualities of your leadership when we were with you at Walter Reed Hospital after winning each World Series. Those American heroes were honored to meet Jason Varitek. And also Jason Varitek was honored to meet those American heroes. I also saw how Jason Varitek would quietly visit children at Children's Hospital and then buy tickets for them and T-shirts for their visits to Fenway, where he would meet each of them before the game. Jason, you have been an inspiration to us on and off the field, and you will always be a member of the Red Sox family. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Warner. I'm not even on the right page. I just want to start off by, first thanking ownership, thank Ben, thank everybody for being here. I'd hoped to single out and be able to say thank you individually to each one of my teammates, but it kind of looks like there's a little bit more than I expected. And but guys, I have no idea what this means. And going into this, your last week, leading up to this is probably one of the hardest weeks that you go through as a player. And to have you guys here, I really appreciate it. And you guys take time out. You guys had a late game today, and thank you. I really appreciate it. And that goes from the coaches that are here, Tuck, Mags, everyone else, training staff. Thank you. Mom, Dad, thank you for being here. Leslie, Amanda, Scott, Catherine, girls, I wouldn't have it any other way. all here, and I'm here to officially announce that I'm retiring as a player. And after months of deliberating what to do, I decided that it's best for me and my family that I retire, but I retire a Red Sox. My decision to retire wasn't something that I took lightly in any sense of the word, nor did I want to do it more than once. This has probably been the most difficult decision I've had to make in my career. But the opportunity to start and finish my Major League career in one place meant more to me, is why I'm standing here today. Being a part of this Red Sox organization the past 14 years is something I'll truly cherish, and I do truly cherish. And I thank all of you for giving me this opportunity, because it's taken everybody to allow that to happen. As I reflected on this day, I realized that I didn't want this day to just be about me. There are so many people that have impacted my career, my life, and I've been extremely blessed and extremely honored to have gotten to wear this uniform and play as long as that I have. But along that way, there's been many, many people that have impacted and been such a huge part. I'd like to take a moment to really go down and thank these people and give the gratitude that is deserved for helping build a career that I wouldn't have done without them. Starts with my parents. Mom, Dad, thank you. You took me everywhere, you drove me around, but most importantly, you guys are my heroes. Thank you. To my brothers, I have 3 brothers, Joe, Jared, Justin. They're the rocks of my family. I couldn't have asked for any more supportive group of brothers than I have. They can't be here today, but I wanted to recognize them and make sure that I thank them. To my Little League World Series coaches, to the late Jerry Thurston, Coach Ebert, Coach Callahan, Coach Barfield. They taught us the values of fundamentals and what teamwork can do. And at 12 years old, it carried a long way. To my coach and friend, Jay Williams. Jay stood by my side and encouraged me to switch hit. And he's been my complete supporter from Little League on up, and he's probably my biggest fan. And my life might have, in my career, might not have turned out the way it was if I didn't quite learn how to hit left-handed. To my high school coach, who stressed the fundamentals in baseball. I still today can bunt because of that. I also want to recognize my high school football coach, because he really instilled in us that there's no team and there's no I in team. To my college coaches, both Jim Morris and Danny Hall, for a great education at Tech and helping continue to develop myself as a player and as a man. To Roger Hansen, who is my catching instructor at the Seattle organization. He helped and stood by my side and stuck with me through some of the worst times of my career, and always encouraged me that I will see the light at the end of the tunnel and I will be able to figure this stuff out behind the plate, and just encouraged me and stuck with me with hard work to continue to do that. Now to my Red Sox family. I want to thank Mr. Henry, Mr. Werner, Mr. Lucchino for always keeping me a Red Sox. Dan DeCat and Theo for valuing me as a player. To all my coaches, thank you. To my managers, Jimmy, Grady, Tito, thank you. I'd probably not be standing here if it wasn't for Jimmy. Jimmy one day walked up to me before a game started in New York when I first got called up and said, "Tech, is you're going to be a baseball player. You're going to have a long career. And it was just a vote of confidence I needed enough to get me over the hump. And I'll never forget him for it. Grady, he continued to believe in me as a player, instilling the same confidence that started with Jimmy, and worked right alongside with me. Tito, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to sail next to you and to captain your ship for 2 championships. Next one's tough. Coach Tuck. If Webster needs a definition of coach, it's got to be Gary Tuck. He's meant more to me at an age where I was told my skills have depleted, but he pushed me, got me better, stood by my side, believed in me when no one else did, and I forever will have a friend in Coach Tuck. To our entire training staff, thank you. I had Masai and Russell seem to have the brunt of having to get me on the field. And if it wasn't for you two, majority of the time, I probably wouldn't have gotten out there. Thank you. To the clubhouse staff, who's the nuts and bolts of any clubhouse. From Joe, Pookie, Billy, Luke, Cundy, Jared, Dean, Kenyatta, Tommy, Cookie, Sal. Thank you guys for taking care of me every day. To all the babysitters, Sarah McKenna, who took care of these girls while their dad had to play and made their Fenway experience wonderful. Thank you. Pam Ganley, Sarah Stevenson, Sherry Rosenberg. You guys made making media and community relations easy. To Red Sox Nation, the best fans in baseball. Thank you. Thank you for making this the most special place to play. My teammates, it's what I'm going to miss most. The hardest thing to do is to walk away from your teammates and what they have meant to you over the years. Thank you. I've been infiltrated with emails and texts over the past week and since it broke a few days ago, and I can't say how much that has meant to me from my friends and people that have supported me for over the years. I can't quite mention everybody that has sent emails and texts, but thank you too. Scott, you've been there since day one. Advising me, to listening to me, to help me with my struggles in the minor leagues, to having good times, bad times, but you've been there, and it's been a lot of years. And I thank you. Leslie, my trainer, I don't even know what to say to him. He's been beside me for so many years, meant so much to this family, to these girls. I thank you. Now it gets the hard part. Allie, Kendall, Caroline. You made going home from games when things weren't so well that much easier. Just always know Daddy loves you as far as the East is from the West. Kath, I've been a pain over these last couple months. I've been emotional. This has not been easy, but thank you. I love you. as I walk away from this game, I can look at the man in the mirror and be proud that I gave everything I could to this game, this organization, my teammates. And once again, I just want to say thank you. Do I have to?
Please raise your hand if you have a question for Jason. We'll get a microphone over to you.
Hey, Jason, now that you're done with playing, what are you planning on doing, and could you talk about what role you might have with the Red Sox?
Well, what I plan on doing right now is going to a lot more soccer practices and a lot more soccer games and mixing a few tennis matches for a little bit longer period of time. We're still discussing, and hopefully that as we continue to do this, that we figure out a role to maintain and to stay involved.
Jason, did you ever feel like you were close to coming to camp this year, even if it was, as a non-roster guy?
Yeah, look at my hands.
Not to do that.
Well, I think that convinced me not to do it is, this answer comes down to what's best for me and my family. But it's also, you have to be realistic on what my opportunities are. And my opportunity here was the only opportunity that was worthwhile for me to be a part of. And we worked and understood that from our talks in December all the way up until now. I continue to train in hopes that you just don't know what's going to happen, and that you want to, exhaust all alternatives with this team, this organization before, it really came to grips. Not came to grips, but decided fully to retire.
Jason, how difficult do you think it'll be for you to walk into a ballpark as a non-player?
I just did.
Touché.
Weird. It became really weird as I start seeing all the guys and everybody coming over. It's just weird. Like you have a burn, you have a desire. Wasn't something that I snapped in my mind overnight and knew that I wasn't going to play. I still trained and tried to get myself ready, and I love being able to play. I love the competition on the field, the chess game behind the plate, and it's not easy.
Jason, you were talking before about all of the moments in your career. Is there one particular moment that you think you might look back on more than others, as the years go on?
I think I'm going to miss, I'll most miss is, I don't know if there's one particular moment because, it's easy to pick a moment as making a final, catching a final out or the final out made in 04 World Series. But there's so many moments that are I can probably now really appreciate them more than I could when I was playing, because I just kept going to the next thing. What do I have to do next? What do I have to prepare for? What do I have to work out for? So you kind of leave what's happened behind you. You're always pushing forward. But, winning the World Series here is unbelievable. And it'll be a hard one to match, but the uniqueness of Lester's no-hitter and Clay's no-hitter are things that I can't really, I'll never forget. There's little things that you guys would never see. Is that you block a ball, you know, in certain situations when your body is telling you no, you can't do it. And those are the things that I'll miss.
Jason, in a career of all these wonderful moments, and we have lists here of all these great things all those years, one moment that fans are constantly reminded of, and you walk into any establishment in Boston, there's a picture of you and A-Rod from July 2004. What goes through your mind when you see the image of that moment? What did that mean?
I was just being a teammate. You know, it wasn't something that you're proud of. That, you know, we've been down this road talking with my kids, but it's just I was just being a teammate. There things were going on that, you know, being said to my teammate, and it just happened to happen that way.
And you had a sort of a policy of not signing that image. Is it something you'll change, or is that ongoing for you?
Well, I mean, it became ongoing as soon as the first day my oldest daughter, one day we're walking out in the parking lot, goes, "Oh, Daddy, look, it's the picture of you fighting again." And I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't sign that.
Okay.
Jason, Fisk and Munson defined the Yankee-Red Sox rivalry for one generation, much like you and Posada has for probably this generation. I'm curious your feelings about both you and Jorge retiring this year. Did you have an occasion to reach out to him, and has he reached out to you?
He actually had reached out to me just over these couple days. We've been fortunate to sit on the other side for, 14 years, and 19 times a year, plus at some points it was 27. Like, you see a lot of games, and you butt heads quite a bit. His job's to make sure we get out. My job's to make sure they get out, and our job's to make sure each other gets out. But you can respect what you have to do behind the plate and the little things. I forgot the rest of the question.
Anyone else? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.